You guys are staying warm. It is snowing like crazy outside, but that's all right. It looks beautiful out where I'm at with all the snow on the trees. I don't know. Have you guys got a lot of snow where you're at? We kind of all are in different places, so interesting. Yeah, getting some snow. Did you guys think we'd have a snow day today? I mean, we don't really have snow days in online, so we can kind of forget about that, but that's okay. All right, want to start class talking about, so basically I'm just going to show you maybe like a GIF or something, and I'm going to ask for a volunteer to either unmute or type in the chat and just explain, hey, when was the last time that you maybe felt like this? Or when is the last time that you were in a situation where you made that same facial expression? All right, so let's take a look. Choosing a GIF. I'm going to choose number 4. Looking for a volunteer. When was the last time you felt like this cat? This morning. Felt tired. Today. All right, so we got some tired people today. That's all right. All right, let's do one more. Let's change it up. How do I go back? There it is. How about number 1? Ooh. Um kind of looks like shocked or cringy. Maybe if you were talking to someone and you called them the wrong name. Anyone got a similar experience to this? I was thinking that's kind of what I was thinking, or like if you're a little kid and you run up and hug the wrong person and you're like, "Oh, I thought you were someone else." All right. Again, just something different, something to get us going as we start this morning. Just looking at Schoology. Okay, move this. There it is. All right. Looking at Schoology. If we go down to this week, got a couple lessons, a quiz. So again, make sure once you finish up lesson 3, if you haven't yet, make sure you look at this review, try this review on your own, and then take the quiz. It's definitely going to help you in the long run. And then we're going to review these real quick. Basically, everything in this week is about similar figures. So I'm going to jump in. If you don't have something to write with, maybe a pencil, a piece of paper, go ahead, grab that now. And we're going to jump into similar figures. All right, so there's one really kind of big key fact, rule, law, however you want to describe it, that similar figures has. And it's that in our notes we called it CPSFP. Corresponding parts of significant figures are proportional, are the ratio is going to be exactly the same. So let's look it up here. are proportionate. Corresponding parts of similar figures are proportionate, which means their ratio of sides is going to be exactly the same thing. So I'm going to give you an example of what that means. If I have a small triangle and I have a big triangle, if this is side is 2, this side is 8, if this side is 1, this side is 4, and if this side is 3, this side is 12. When I match up these sides and find out what's corresponding, I can set up a proportion. I can look at these and say, hey, this is my small triangle to my big triangle. And if that's true, it better be true here as well. So again, if I put the small triangle on top, I have to do it again. And if I put the, not red, big, small triangle on top, I got to put the small triangle on top over here. And if we look at this, we know because of our fractions that 2/8 is actually equal to 1/4 and it's equal to 3/12. So yes, these triangles are similar. Okay. If any of these numbers didn't equal itself, say that this was a number 13, this would not be true, okay? And then these would not be similar. So if one of those sides doesn't work within your ratio or it doesn't fit, you cannot say that these are similar. And this is really important. We're going to talk about these, but there are 3 ways that you can prove triangles are similar. Looking for volunteers to type in the chat. What's one of the ways, 2 of the ways? You could say all 3 ways if you know. What are the 3 ways to prove triangles similar? Small to big, okay? I'm looking for, there are like specific like postulates, theorems that we talk about. One of the ways that you can prove triangles are similar is by finding angle to angle, okay? Angle, angle. We call this AA. Angle, angle is one way that you can prove triangles are congruent because a property of similar triangles is that their angles have to be the same. They have to be. And that's another way where if it's not true, if the angles do not equal each other, you cannot say that they're similar. So that's one thing you can check. If we think about why do we only need 2 angles and not 3 angles? Well, if a triangle only has 180 degrees and 2 of the angles are the same, the only way it can get to 180 degrees is if that third angle is the exact same too. A second option is side, 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 which we call SSS. Let's maybe draw a quick example. So again, whatever my triangles are, if I say that this angle equals this angle and this angle equals this angle, it's angle, angle. Side, side, side works like this. If my ratio of sides, and again, they don't have to be equal for sides, the ratio has to be the same. So if I know that the side, 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 if all 3 sides ratio is the same, I could prove that these triangles are similar. And maybe now that I've jogged your memory, does anyone know what's the third way? What's the third method we can use to prove triangles are similar? Angle, side, angle, close. It's actually side angle side, which we call SAS, side angle side. And if you know what, we can definitely talk about it, why angle side angle doesn't work for similar, because you could actually draw that triangle two ways, and one of the ways might not work. So side angle side, again, if you look at these triangles, okay, whatever they are, these sides have to be proportional here, here, and the angle has to be in between the two sides. And remember, angles are actually congruent. So the sides just have to have the same ratio. The angles can be congruent. One more note before I let you do some practice, or we can do some practice together. Couple things that you'll notice as you go through these problems. Two examples, okay? This first example on the left, I want to call A, B, C, D, E. Watch what happens when I outline triangle ABC. A, B, C. And watch what happens when I outline triangle D, B, E. I want you to look at angle B. What's true about angle B in both my triangles, in my big triangle and in my small triangle? What's true about angle B? They both have angle B. They are exactly the same. So angle B is the same, so it has to equal itself. Look back at what we need to prove triangles are similar. Two of the three choices, oops, two of the three choices use an angle. So if I see a triangle that looks something like this, I might say, hey, I might look for angle angle, or I might look for side angle side. Second thing you have to look for, and this is a blast from the past. We talked about this a long time ago. What are these angles called? It's two words. Starts with a V. A VA. I'll give you a hint. What are these two angles right here? Vertical angles. And vertical angles are always, 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 always the same. So again, if I see something, two triangles that share a vertex and have opposite rays, I should immediately think those are vertical angles. These two angles must be congruent to each other. All right. Gonna share my screen, and I want you to try some problems on your own, and then we'll meet in about, I'd say about 5 minutes, and then we'll do maybe a problem or two together, okay? So I'm gonna share the problems that I want you to try, and I'm gonna scroll through, and again, you can jump around. You don't have to do the problems in order. What is important on these problems? The order of the letters matter, okay? So when you state these, the order that you put the letters matters. And you have to make sure that if I'm matching up K with V, K and V have to be in the same spot. If I'm matching J and U, they have to be in the same spot. If they're the last letter, if they're the middle letter, or if they are the first letter. All right, try to find the similarity statement of these three problems, or these six problems. Sorry about that. Let me scroll up. It's not go up. Sorry. Wow. Epic meltdown. All right, just gonna scroll down a little bit. Try to get to a different type of problem. Solve for X. The triangles in each pair are similar. So again, take a look, try one of these 4 problems. I want you to try to find X. Figure out what's this side. Figure out what the ratio is, and we'll do one of these together. We'll do one of these together in about 2 minutes. Let's do number 11. Okay, so I want everyone to try number 11. First things first, what we have to look for is to figure out what sides match up with what sides. So I'm going to flip to my iPad and I'm going to show you what I mean. So we got to match up similar sides. And this might be a helpful hint is that if you get stuck, draw them so that they look dissimilar. See, these 2 triangles are not facing the same way. But if I were to rotate it 180 degrees, now I could match these up a whole lot better. Okay, so just hang on, hold on with me. I would say that this side is similar to this side. This side is similar to this side. And this side is similar to this side. Now I'm going to flip it back, but we can use our colors to create our proportion. And that's how we want to solve these, okay? If you say, Mr. Larson, I don't know where to start, I don't know what to do, I'm going to tell you, you have to write a proportion, okay? So a proportion has 4 parts. We've got our numerator and our denominator, and then a numerator and a denominator. So what I know the most about is I know well, hold on one second. I think we got these 2, the green and the orange, mixed up. We know red, okay? We know what the red one is. And so we are going to say 117 over 7x minus 9 equals, and now I really would like to fill out my other side, and that's again why I realized that we got these 2 mixed up. So we're going to swap these. At 130 and 60. I apologize. So again, if I put 117 on top, I have to put 130 on top as well. And now I can cross multiply and set up my equation. 117 times 60 equals 130 times 7x minus 9. Please, 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 please use a calculator on this stuff. 117 times 60, 7,020 equals, when I multiply this, 130 times 7, 910x minus 130 times 9, 1,170. Add this over here. 8,190 equals 910x. Question asked us to get x, so we have to divide by 910. And look at that. We got a nice, neat number. So x equals 9. So again, what did I do? I found sides that were similar. I actually kind of goofed it up at first. But again, how I realized I'd made a mistake was that I have to complete 3 parts of my proportion. If I think of a proportion being part 1, part 2, part 3, and part 4, I have to know that I keep picking colors I already have. I need to figure out 3 of these things in order to be able to cross multiply and figure out what the 4th part is. I have to be able to do that. All right. Let's try one more problem. Let's do number 16. Okay. Find SC. So I want you to try number 16 right now, please. All right, let's work through it together. Again, just going to share it on my iPad here. So when I look at this, again, I'm looking at my big triangle, which goes like AC, CB, and then finishes up right here. Okay. Well, that's going to correspond to right here. This orange part is going to correspond right here. And this question mark SC, that's what I want to figure out. My goal is to find SC. So again, what do I know? Using what I know, I'm going to use this and this because these are related to each other. So I'm going to do small triangle on top, big triangle on bottom. And I'm going to say 7 over 14, red corresponds with red, equals. And so since I want to know SC, my goal is to know SC, I'm going to use that orange. And again, I put the small triangle on the bottom. What's this question mark? Over the big triangle, which is 20. So now when I cross multiply, 7 times 20 equals, let's change this to a variable, call it y, 14y. 7 times 20, 140 equals 14y. We don't need a calculator to do this because when I divide by this, I should get y equals 10. So the missing side was 10. Sweet. Let's take a look at our Class Connect assignment. Remember, there is only school Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday next week. So we do not have a Class Connect next week. How many different ways are there to prove triangle similarity? We talked about that earlier. We wrote them down. What are the three methods? Again, we talked about it earlier. We wrote them down. We just did this problem right here. So again, hopefully you wrote it down and you can go ahead and figure out this. You can try this one on your own. Are they similar? Find out if it's proportional or not. Which method are you going to use? Side, 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 side angle, side, or angle, angle. And then remember, order matters. Okay, the order matters here. Let me know if you have questions, concerns, comments. I'd be happy to reach out, meet with you one-on-one. Again, we won't have a class next week, or we won't have a class connect next week. You do have class. So that's all I've got for you. Again, if I don't see you till then, have a great winter break. Have a good rest of 2022.